Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. So looking for the best mirrorless camera under 1 lakh rupees or let's say $1200 you have come to the right video. Now depending on what type of shoot you are doing, whether it's photography or videography, I have recommendations for each of you, and most importantly we will also look at the best all-rounder in this video at the end. So make sure to watch the video till the end. And before we begin this video, please take a moment to subscribe. So the number one camera we have here, especially if you are into photography, is the Fujifilm XT32. Now it costs $1000 or 92,000 rupees here in India with the 15 to 45mm f3.5 kit lens. So it boasts a 26.1 megapixel X-Trans sensor with X processor 4. Now it's a BSI CMOS sensor, which means it is backside illuminated. Now it should give really good results. I mean, at least better results, especially in terms of how the noise is controlled in various conditions. Now the sensors, when it comes to camera sensors, there are like three types. One is the CMOS sensor, which is typically found in Canon cameras, and you have the BSI CMOS sensor, which you can find it in the Fujifilm's camera, and there is also stacked CMOS sensor. Now the stacked CMOS sensor is slightly superior compared to the BSI CMOS, and it's significantly superior when it compares to the CMOS sensor only. Again, it all depends on the image processing they have written there. Now this Fujifilm XT32 offers a hybrid autofocus system with 425 autofocus points across the entire frame with both face as well as eye detection, and can detect up to -7 EV, meaning in real dark conditions also you can still focus the subject. So that's really good here. Now it's a beast of a camera, full metal body construction, excellent dial controls for manual operation, and superb amount of features for all kinds of work. Now it comes with standard 3-inch tiltable LCD touchscreen with 1.62 million dots, so it's not a fully articulating screen and hence it's limited to the movement. Now ISO goes from 80 to 51,200 extended, but natively it operates between 160 and 12,800 only. For capturing fast movements, the burst speed here is 8 frames per second mechanical shutter and up to 30 frames per second electronic shutter. As with the viewfinder, it's a little small here as compared to other camera systems. So it has a 0.39-inch OLED color viewfinder with approximately 2.36 million dots. Most importantly, as with the video, it can do 4K up to 30 frames per second, and it also supports DCI 4K for that cinematic capture, and also gives you 17:9 aspect ratio. Now this also means the footage that you get is oversampled here, especially with this sensor here. So it's oversampled footage from the 6K signal, meaning you get little sharper pictures when you capture video. Now full HD you can do up to 240 frames per second for that slow-mo shots. Now the XT32 also supports F-Log video format, which allows you to record movies with a wide dynamic range, improving details in highlights as well as in shadows. Now there is also this F-Log view assist. So while recording, it gives you like BT.709 equivalent preview on the LCD monitor. So what it does is it helps you visualize what an edit could look like. Now it can also shoot videos in MP4 and H.264. So I just wish it had H.265 format as well, so but it does not support, which you'll find it in my next recommendation. And the major factor to actually recommend this camera for photography is the film simulation that it offers, and the pictures that come out straight from the camera is absolutely gorgeous. Beautiful color rendition, so you don't have to post edit it at all. However, one major drawback could be the lens option here. I mean, the options are plenty, but to build an ecosystem around, the lenses are quite expensive than the competition. So that's the negative that I think of when I compare it to the Canon or Nikon. But otherwise, it's a fantastic option for photography and a little bit of videography due to its not so great battery backup on a single charge. Yes, that's the only major drawback that you'll find in this camera. And there's also one more thing, which is the IBIS. So there is no IBIS found in this camera. So if you have a spare battery, 1 or 2, then I think it's really good option. So at number 2, I had like 2 options to pick, one from the Canon as well as the other Nikon. So I'm gonna recommend you get the Nikon Z52 here. It's a newer camera than the Canons, and it performs brilliantly both for photography as well as videography. So at this price, like it costs 82,000 rupees here in India or $1000 with the kit lens 16 to 50mm, so which is sufficient to get you started. Now with this camera you can record full width 4K video, absolutely no crop here, up to 30 frames per second by getting the oversampling 5.6K footage up to 10-bit you can record, and 60 frames per second 4K with a little bit of crop there. Yes, So it also has high-res zoom function, N-Lock support for extra dynamic range. It also features a 20.9 megapixel APS-C sensor with X-Speed 7 image processing engine, which is same as in the Z9. Now it also has a 3D tracking with various subject detection and can shoot up to 11 frames per second high-speed continuous mechanical. So there you get 8, here you get 11. Now it has a 2.36 million dot EVF and is super bright up to 1000 nits. As with the screen, it has a 3.2 inches fully articulating LCD touch display with just over million dots. But the two major drawback here, despite all the good stuff that Nikon is giving, two major negative. First one, the battery life. It's again isn't that great as compared to the competition, but the competition offers several other drawbacks there as compared to the Nikon Z52, because this is overall a good camera here. And the second negative is there is no IBIS, but otherwise a solid performer in all the aspects. So this is the camera you should get if your budget is very tight and under 80,000 Indian rupees. So if you're alternatively thinking of Canon, so what could be the Canon alternative for this? So it's the EOS R10. Sits right at this price point only and is equally a great performer too, slightly old, like 2 years old than the Nikon Z52. This time around I went with the Nikon instead of Canon. That's it. So if you prefer Canon, definitely go for it. It's a great camera as well. Now last but not the least, we have a camera that's slightly old now but does exceptionally well in all aspects. So it's the Sony Alpha 6600, priced at around 93,000 Indian rupees or 1200 US dollars. The major difference between the A6600 as well as A6400 is the newer is significantly improved in terms of battery and is actually class leading here with the battery life. And another one is the A6600 gets IBIS, yes, 5-axis image stabilization, and there is also reduced jello effect while shooting video as compared to its predecessor. So if you can slightly pay more, then obviously I would suggest you get the A6700, which is a beast of a camera and is one of the best in the class. So you can buy that eye closed, but it's slightly expensive, over 1 lakh rupees definitely. So Sony has its own advantages like the E-mount for the lens, so you can fix different adapters and it lets you use from vintage lenses to different third-party lenses as well. So I would suggest you get the A6600 since it is a do-it-all camera under 1 lakh rupees. If you're someone looking to step up the game and go for the full-frame mirrorless camera in a tight budget, although I wouldn't suggest you go for the full-frame camera at this price point, but still if you're looking for a full-frame camera for the longer run, then I would suggest you buy the Canon EOS R8. It's a beautiful camera for the price. Now if you are looking for just content creation, shooting videos and very less photography, then the Sony ZV-E10 Mark II is what I recommend. Excellent camera for the indoor content creation use, or it could be your B-roll camera or top shot camera as well. That's the one I recommend there. I hope it was helpful in making your purchase decision. So you can find the latest updated pricing links to the camera and lenses in the video description down below. So what camera did you end up buying? Let me know in the comment section down below. I hope this video was informative. If yes, hit that like button, share it with your friends, and if you're new here, don't forget to click on that subscribe button. So I will see you in the next one. Until then, take care everyone. Bye bye.